everybody, and welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, tell a friend, come and join us while we talk about these stupid TLC shows. All right, on the docket today, we have 90 Day Fiancé, Love in Paradise, Season 3, Episode 4, No Scrubs. Okay.
Okay,
I
I'm
was
just gonna say
irritated
it.
for a portion of this show.
I'm just gonna say it. This was a nothing burger for me. This was just an episode to get to the next one because nothing really happened. But then you see the previews of next week, you're like, okay, I understand. I mean, nothing. Like if we really didn't get anything. Like I was waiting for something to happen. I'm like, nothing's happening.
Well, the things that I saw in the preview for next week had nothing to do with anyone who was on this week, to be quite honest.
It was just like a filler bridge episode at best.
Well, I am okay. I felt like once Nicole showed up, she ruined it for me. She really
But
did.
you could see you could see the production. You could see that Lydia and Nicole got together to set this up. It was just
I
plainly
was
obvious.
expecting that, but it was the execution that did it for me. Okay, let's just go in with these bums. Hold on. Okay, I was busy working on this morning. Let's go in on these bums. Okay, so I was expecting overproduced. But when you bring in Nicole acting like I don't know, 1970s game show host on meth, I wasn't here for it. And then why is Lydia always laughing at the most inappropriate things? Okay, so they just irked me. I never thought I would like one person so much as I do Scott, and I don't like him, but the people he is surrounding himself with is making me like him, if that makes sense.
I was waiting for him to cuss her out. That's all I was waiting for. Scott, just go ahead, just cuss her clean out and leave because
It was
it was
grossly
ridiculous.
inappropriate.
And then
And then,
when
well, go
Nicole,
ahead,
when
go,
she
go.
said like when Nicole like when she asked about the money, I'm like
Mm-hmm,
supremely inappropriate.
mm-hmm.
And when she said in the confessional, like there is no like she like Columbia was just using him. There is no way that she could love him. I'm like, ma'am, like you just either busted you and your mama out, or you just think that lowly of your mother. It's an either or in the situation.
No,
Because
but
either
the thing is, that was that was hypocrisy, but it was also jealousy because y'all know that this is what y'all been doing for years. Y'all been grifting the people for years. And you just pissed that somebody got in there first and took your $17,000 that you think that your mother should be collecting. But I'm sure that that Colombian girl did a lot. I'm sure she did
yeah,
a lot
for sure.
to earn that $17,000. And I don't understand why nobody can get a translator app working. Lydia got a whole phone there. She's connected to the hotel Wi-Fi, but yet she can't turn on her translation app. She got to bring in her horse mouth child in order to do the translation. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Nicole irks me no end. And Lydia, like laughing constantly like a donkey's backside, is grating on my nerves. What I will agree on is that when you do give a purse, a wallet, a coin purse, anything like that, you do put a dollar or two in there as a form of luck so that the purse will never be out of money. It is, but that's cultural, that's regional, that's
Right.
everybody does that, and we can't expect Scott to know about that. And then you're sitting there and constantly laughing at him, speaking in Spanish, and he's not getting it. Like, I would be real uncomfortable about that. I really would. They were just rude and obnoxious. I don't know. And He got a bag for her. Well, his mom got a bag for her. Um, you couldn't get a gift bag. You had to bring it in the store plastic bag.
Yeah, I was like, Scott, come on
Effort,
now.
no effort. Um, I just hated everything that they did. Everything. And him expecting Lydia not to tell her adult daughter about their relationship is a little
Right.
stupid. It's a little stupid. And okay, she's an adult. Nicole is supposedly an adult. You thought it was odd that you were meeting her daughter on the second, what do you say, second day or something like that?
Mm,
Nicole's an adult. It's not like she's an impressionable child.
right.
Right? I do agree with keeping your significant others, especially if you have a revolving door installed in your home, away from your children until you figure out if this person's okay. But she's an adult and she's used to these reindeer games. Sorry.
No, I agree. But here's my whole thing with Scott. Scott, I'm gonna have to like talk about you a little bit on this one. Here's my whole thing. He's been divorced, what was it, 10 years? You
10
said?
years. Yes.
Okay, here's my whole thing. Yeah, you're uncomfortable with her adult daughter asking questions about your sex life. Now, on one
Mhm.
hand, I get it, kind of not her business, but two, they don't know you. Know you.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna call that a wash for now. But when she asked you, like, how many, girls have slept with, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, sir, but earlier in the episode or earlier in the season, you said you went through your whole phase after your divorce.
Mhm.
So why are you trying to be all shy now? That makes no sense to me.
Well, when he said that he was in a confessional,
I think it was like on the like it was like during his segment, like when we were meeting him.
right, when we were getting to know
Now
him, so
him, yeah,
he wasn't in front of this woman's child. I wouldn't want to be coming out and saying in front of my girlfriend's child, whether she is an adult or not. Yeah, I was fucking that shit up right after I got out of my marriage.
I'm just different. I'm just very different. Like, because here's the way I look at it. Her goal was to make him uncomfortable. I'm
Mhm.
me being petty and who I am. I'm not going to give you that satisfaction. I'm going to tell you, like, yes, I went through my whole phase. I was getting it in, still getting it in, and what? Oh yeah,
But he seemed to be like a bit on the back foot because
right.
like he thought he was meeting her, but I think he thought he was just going to get breakfast. I don't
Yes,
think he was thinking he was going to
a
be
Q&A.
participating in exactly the
Yeah,
game show questions from hell.
that's why I said once you figure out what she's trying to do, that's when you really like. Okay, you want to play games? This is what we're gonna do.
But he does. I think in one of the previews, he's like, or no, it was in this one where he was like, "You better watch out because I might be your dad" or
Yeah,
something.
right.
I think he's finally like he's given them a lot of rope, a lot of
Yes, yeah, he
leeway,
did.
and now the snarky comedian is going to be coming out, and I don't think any of them are gonna like it.
Yeah. I totally agree. It's just I'm that person in that moment. I'm like, okay, I see what you
Mhm.
are. This is what we're going to now. You try to embarrass me. Now I'm going to embarrass you and your mama because you opened this door.
Wow. I don't know. I don't think they should be eyeing his finances. But it just shows
Nah.
the type of people that they are.
But Debbie, you said this earlier, like the family business. I
Sorry.
mean, I mean, this is kind of what they do.
Exactly. Oh God. Whatever. She just ruined their segments for me. I do not find any enjoyment in seeing Nicole. TLC,
No,
please do not encourage her back at all. Um, who are we going to talk about next?
I mean, this was like I said, this episode was a flop for me. So we might as well do Valentine and what's the name?
Carlos? Because there's a lot
Thank
of
you.
Valentines going on.
Right.
So Valentine and Carlos, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here they are. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Jesus.
I'm still trying to find 29, but okay. Sorry.
I know. It is. Anywho. It's a really, really hard 20. Maybe a soft 43, but a hard 29. But we digress. They had the smallest segment out of everybody. Basically, Valentine arrived into Colombia. Carlos picked him up. They spent their first night together. They're still debating who's going to be first to bottom out. They still haven't decided, but they've tried a whole lot of new things to gain satisfaction, and they did not need a dildo. So hey, we're good.
But it's like I'm like, y'all use okay, never mind. I'm like, if y'all ain't penetrating each other, you're not using dildos. There's only there's a couple things you could use, but still, I'm just saying. And my whole thing is like y'all looked at real relaxed and real happy, so I'm not understanding. See, that's their control issue. That's it right there. Because if y'all sticking stuff up each other's behind, but y'all are not penetrating each other, it's all a control thing. Like who's gonna be the first? That's all it is at this point. That's all it is.
But they acted like they never bottomed before. How do you determine which one you prefer if you haven't tried both?
It's a psychological thing a lot of times.
And Carlos just need to get with the program because we all know he's the bottom. Why he got all that long hair if not to pull it?
Debbie.
I'm just saying. Carlos, stop with all your lies. We know that you had sex with that girl. And we know that you's the bottom. What was all of that debris in their bed?
I don't know.
I have a whole bunch of questions.
I didn't even really watch their segment because I didn't care.
I did.
I just listened to it.
There was one good part where we got a little bit of the backstory with Valentine and his mom's. His mom is coming for the wedding, which is taking place in 7, 8, or 9 days. I heard so many different numbers. I don't know which. But his mom is coming down. We found out that when she found out that her son was gay, she kicked Valentine out when he was like 19-ish or something like that. They didn't speak for many years, but over the years they've repaired their relationship. So now this was a big deal to know that his mom was coming, and he got emotional about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's never introduced a boyfriend to her. Furthermore, her coming to see him get married. So this is important to him, especially considering he hasn't seen her in 8 years. Like, how well is that relationship repaired if you haven't seen her? But okay.
See, that's my thing. I'm like, okay. You're like, how you? And I agree with you. How do you rebuild a relationship if you're not seeing each other? Like spending that quality time, visiting, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find out more. Maybe she'll be the one to stand up and say, I object to this wedding.
But see, my thing, I'm gonna just sit in this because of Carlos. Actually, and here's why. He's like, Valentine, like, look, like, let's not fight in front of my mother, please. This is a big deal. He's like, well, she's going to see the real me. He's like, but she don't need to see that here. I was like, and I'm looking at Carlos. I'm like, you don't understand, like, black mothers. Like, we're going to assume that she's black.
Black the picture, mamas, I thought that picture was. They showed a picture of her.
But see,
you was only listening. Yeah, they showed a picture of her. I can confirm she is black.
Okay, I'm looking at him like, do you not understand? Like,
he doesn't.
You don't understand, like, how.
But he should have some understanding too, because I'm sure he wouldn't want Valentine last season to act the fool in front of his sister when they met up. So don't carry on new
Don't be showing
brand.
out. Don't be showing
Yup.
out.
Don't be carrying on new brand, behaving all stupid. Um no, you have enough brought up C's. Yes, I'm giving y'all all the Bajan terms today. New brand and brought up C's. You have enough brought up C's to know that you don't behave like that in front of somebody's mother. Period.
You're supposed to say, and honestly, even if you disagree, you just keep your mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
Just
And you tell her what a lovely dress she have on.
exactly, and that you love her hair.
Mm-hmm. And that's
And
it. And if she needs something from the buffet.
Mom, you need to play. Do you need some vodka? Like that's what you do. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. Or if you can't control yourself, you stay on the other side of the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how you handle that. You don't go out there showing your whole behind.
Sad. Sad. Okay. That was it for them though.
Yeah.
I didn't have much. Who do you want to do next?
Let's do what's the name? Is it Jessica and Juan?
Jessica
Right?
and Juan.
See,
Okay.
again, people I don't care about that much. And here is where I have an issue. They're
Mm-hmm.
adults. You can do what you want to do. Cool. But I'm not I will never understand women who put themselves in these kind of positions because he works aboard a cruise ship. How do you like sleep with people on vacation and not use protection? And that's the best, nicest way I can put it.
No,
And
but wait, it gets worse, Jamal. Not to cut you, but you're talking about something that sent up bells for me because the sleeping with people on vacation, it wasn't just vacation. They'd been in a relationship for a while. And remember, she got the message saying that he was fooling around with somebody from the
mm-hmm,
cruise ship and they had a relationship and she said, "Oh, well, I have a trip going down to Colombia anyway. Let me just take it." She was pissed. They were on the verge of breaking up. They went down. He proposed to her. And as he said, as soon as he proposed to her, she got baby fever. And all it took was one shot. So on your breakup makeup trip, you got engaged and pregnant. What sense that make? And I blame Juan for this because he knew he was just busted cheating. He hasn't gotten all of his little oats sown yet. He proposed to this girl, and then when she said she wanted to try for a baby, you was like, okay, and you hadn't met her children yet, and you don't got no kids of your own. Like, what? How does this make sense?
now I'm going to have to go to the other side. When I'm blame most on Jessica for all the things you just said. But here's the thing, ma'am. I'm sorry, but I'm like you just busted him for cheating, but you gonna let him raw dog you, not knowing whose juices is on it still,
The
and how
stupidity.
from how
The
long ago? And from how long ago?
stupidity. All because she got a ring.
That makes that makes no sense to me.
The stupidity of these two. And then he's saying that all of this makes him feel like he is being set up for failure. Dude, you set yourself up for failure.
Exactly.
You set yourself up for failure with this woman. And I'm grateful that he realizes that he's not ready. But her as a mother should know that he ain't ready.
Right.
And then she's saying, well, we've created this baby, so we've got to make it work. What?
Oh, okay. But ma'am, by that logic, you should still be with your ex-husband. So shut up. So
Exactly.
shut up.
Exactly.
Shut
And
up.
then Megan, I'm going to have a talk with him before he get back on that boat. Bitch, sit your ass down.
You are the babysitter.
Because
You're the
not
babysitter.
even she behaving like she is digging up in Jessica's crutch. Like that's how women when he go on a cruise ship. She a little bit too possessive. She really is. And if Jessica is continue, like, you can say whatever you want to say to Jessica, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could say, I got red flags, the alarm bells are going off, this doesn't sound right. Are you sure? Like, if I was Megan, I'd have been like, as soon as Jessica got that positive thing on the test strip, I'd have been like, girl, let's find a state where abortion is legal. And let's me and you take our next girls trip there. This you are not in the best financial situation, or else you would have moved out of the shitty town that you live in with all the flies. um you already got 2 kids. You just busted this man cheating.
That's
and
my main issue. The
and
main
so
issue.
you sure, like, he hasn't even met your other kids yet. You're supposedly engaged, but for real, this is how you want to do this.
And here's my whole thing. Here's another aspect, ma'am. If he's sleeping with you protected, what makes you think he's not sleeping with nobody else unprotected?
Well, here's the thing. I think that they started the unprotected thing on the makeup trip.
Oh,
I think he was protecting himself because he's the smart
okay.
one out of this crew.
So you think that they had used protection this whole time until he proposed, she accepted, and then like, okay.
I think that's what baby fever translated to.
Oh.
Because he said it just took one shot. I think he been firing up into that, but he been having it covered. And she
Oh.
said, let's just do it just
That's a good
this
point.
one time. We're engaged now.
That's a very good theory. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think of it that way because, like I
And
said,
I
I don't care
think
about them.
that's part and parcel of him feeling being set up for failure. I think because he says something about how he was anxious, but he doesn't want her to
Hmm.
see that. He's really concerned about this.
Oh yeah.
He's really concerned about this, and she's taking this too lightly. But okay, girl, Jessica, whatever. And then she's running guilt trips on him because she had an issue with spotting, and she thought she was
Right.
having a miscarriage. But she's okay now, and I guess now that she's 2 months along, she's getting into the morning sickness thing, and this is a lot on him because in 2 weeks he's back on the cruise ship slinging
Right.
drinks and peen in order to get them tips. And this is supposed to be his last contract. Oh.
I don't see it.
And he's working up until the very end of her pregnancy,
Right.
because if she's 2 months now, he's got a 6 months contract. Like, that's like 8.5 months in. And she applied for the K1 visa, but I don't think he's gonna be there for the birth.
No, and then my whole thing with her is that I'm like, she just frustrates me because I'm looking at her like, how are you going to try to dictate to this man that he's not working after this contract? Because here's the thing: one, he has a house in Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Then when he comes to the United States, he can't work for like a set period of time, which means
Mm-hmm.
you're cutting off his income. He can't work, which means you have to take care of you, him, and your children, and the baby
Yeah.
that's on the way. Like, what is wrong with you?
And on top of that, he can't even take up these contracts because he can't
Nope.
leave the country for more than
Country.
6 months.
Exactly.
Well, no, he can't even
He
leave the
can't work.
country until he gets the green card, I think.
Fine. Yeah.
So he's in a bad situation. He can't um
Like that's the thing. Like you're not. She's not thinking. And when oh my, and I hate to say it like this, is when the women don't think because let's be honest. As a male, this is how it is.
mhm.
women, when it comes to their bodies and children, are generally left holding the bag, and it's bad to say, but to me, it's the truth of the matter. It's just what I've grown up with, what I've seen, right?
Mhm.
And she's putting herself in this position. She's not showing the same level of concern that he is showing, and for me, that's troublesome because let's in all honesty, a man can just walk up and leave, and
Mhm.
that's just the truth, and it happens all the time. He could
Mhm.
walk up and leave. He can leave you before that paperwork goes through, and then you're stuck out of the money of that paperwork, and he's back in Colombia living his best life, going on the cruise ships while you got 3 children.
Yeah. I think she is a little bit immature. I guess her first marriage ended amicably with the
Right,
father of her children playing a part, paying child support. So she might be in a little fairy tale land.
right,
But now you messing with an international dude. I do think Juan is a decent
right,
fella. Um, but here's my thing. You're doing this test run of family life in a vacation setup.
right,
I know it's supposed to be in the Caribbean, but again, set up for failure. This should have been in your own environment, your
right.
everyday environment. And he should have been coming to Podunk, Wyoming, or wherever, um, Shitsville, and see where you live, how your kids behave at home,
Mm-hmm.
and how they behave when they go down to the Walmart, and see what your everyday life is like,
Because the
and
problem
your
is,
ex-husband.
right, and the other part of this is, and it's a key part for me, he doesn't seem like he wants to come to the United States. He seems to be very happy where he is in his life.
Oh, he
Because
loved that cruise life.
right, and then when she described her town to him, and his face just hit the concrete, I was like, this is not gonna work for him. Because he's all the flies, what? The shit,
Eh,
what?
you know what? That okay, so the town smells like shit and there's a lot of flies. When you're in the Caribbean, there's chicken and cow farms there as well. We know what it is.
Right,
I know
but
what a chicken farm smell like. I know what a cow farm, like I've trotted in more cow poop patties or whatever you call them, drunk on New Year's Eve, ruined a beautiful pair of high heel sandals. But yeah, I've done it. I've done
but
it.
but he just doesn't seem like it's weird. I kept trying to figure out, like, is he just not happy with the way that she's describing it, or is he does he feel like if he goes there he's gonna get stuck there? And I'm leaning towards he doesn't want to get stuck in a small town.
Now, again, I wish we had seen where he lives and not the vacation villa,
Right.
but it all depends. If he lives in the city, it's not going to be near any cow or chicken
Hmm.
farms, okay? Um, and it seems like he has the best of both worlds because he does have these contracts where he gets to go away for 6 months. He probably doesn't have to worry about his own home because he said his father left him this house, but it's in a state of disrepair because he's never there to fix it.
Hmm.
He is making really good money in comparison to most people in Colombia because he's
Hmm.
working the cruise ships. Um, eh, he's got it good. He's got travel, he's got secure pay in foreign currency, probably. He's got it good. And picking up women at work is allowed, apparently. Um, who wouldn't want those kinds of tips? I think why he would pick her is a little odd when he could be like still at the buffet.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense to me, but okay. Um but good luck to them. We're going to see next week his dad's house that was left to him, and I'm not sure why she's demanding that that gets repaired immediately if he's supposed to be coming to the States. Um, unless she thinks that that's going to make like rental revenue or something. But why do you need him to put out all the money to fix that place when he's about to come to the States?
And you have a baby on the way.
Yeah, I guess we have to get more context and see the full scene, but it doesn't make sense to me what they showed us. Anything else with them?
Nah.
All right, so let's look at the last couple, April and Valentine.
Don't care. She was just doing the most. And I'm like, yeah, no.
I was watching this couple, right? And I was like, so this is what they thought was the replacement for Pedro and Chantel?
Exactly.
I mean, they make a cute couple. Don't get me wrong. They do make a cute couple. Am I that interested?
No, you're not.
No. Oh yes, and I do apologize. I was listening again. Instead of a electric car business, it is a luxury car business. I just can't figure out who's doing the luxury or electric car business in DR, but okay. Her cleaning habits leave a lot. I don't believe it, and here's why. If she is such a germaphobe and she brought all of her cleaning supplies and she put this man to work cleaning out that hotel room where people have sex all over the place, why did she put her suitcase on the bed?
Right.
And I'll be damned, you're gonna ask him if he took a bath? Girl, stop. Did you take a bath?
This whole thing was her complaining and being OCD and being a germaphobe. I'm like, I don't care.
And then her saying that she hopes she doesn't get in her own way by acting the fool at his parents' house. Are you planning to?
Yeah.
I'm real disappointed because if you come from such a good family, one would think you would know how to behave.
Right.
You're cultured, you're educated, you're wealthy. And I couldn't help but feel throughout their segments, she was treating him like a servant.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't overt. It just had shades of it.
Right. No, I know exactly what you're saying.
I didn't like it. I don't know if she is conscious of it or not.
I don't think she is, to be completely honest.
So this is why you wanted a man that was below your level so that you could treat them like this because somebody did it to you? I don't know.
It's go back to that power dynamic thing, in my opinion. She has control issues.
Oh my God. She's just I maybe she stopped taking the pill. I don't think she was on a pill. I bet you anything she wasn't on a pill. They was doing it with condoms. This is Jessica and Juan. Sunway, I bet you anything. That was the first time he took that rubber off and shots fired and they hit. Too young to take on 3 kids, especially when she can't control the first 2 she got. Mm-hmm. I feel like she said less raw dog in the hopes of tying him to her. And I want to know the timeline of her first child with her husband. What was the timeline on that? Is this a pattern that she does to get men tied to her? Just wondering. I had a lot of questions. With Jessica. But getting back to April. Okay.
This wasn't entertaining.
Okay, so in the previews for next week, we see the new couple. So which one of these is getting off?
I have no clue. I'm still trying to figure that out. To be completely honest, I haven't figured it out yet.
Maybe it's Lydia and Scott because I feel him getting ready to cuss out Nicole.
Oh, do you think something happened during production and they had to like y'all gotta go?
Maybe, maybe. Um, I mean, we have to like. It's not Carlos and Valentine because they're the wedding that's going to end the season. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's between Lydia and Scott and Everton and
Yes.
Jordan
Mm-hmm.
because next week Everton and Jordan come back and she confronts him about the voicemail from the lady from Jamaica saying, "You feel that he's faithful? He's been screwing around with me for God knows how long." So it could be.
I'm here for that storyline. I don't care what nobody ever know. I'm here for that one though.
They could break up again and she goes back home and that would be the end of that storyline. So that's why they bring in, what were their names? Anna and Michael,
Yeah.
Matt, something like that. But they look dull as dishwater too. What is she gonna do? Beat him up while he's wherever?
You know what? You know what gives me? They give me Brandon and Julia vibes.
Mm.
When I first saw them, like Brandon and Julia.
Where are they gonna be? Does anybody know? Mm-mm.
Brazil. I thought it was Brazil. Was it Brazil?
Oh, jeez.
I don't know why I thought it was. No, it's not Caribbean though.
I cannot watch Lydia. They make me sick. Brazil can't be.
No, that's what I say. No, that's what I say. It can't be Brazil.
Hmm. Anywho, y'all, I think we've hit everybody, right?
Yes. Yeah, we hit everybody. Wow.
That's it, y'all. That was the episode.
Okay, so here's what it
Um.
is. We're not sure where
Uh-huh.
I real quick. I can't pull it up on my work computer, but it says what it is that he's from Texas and she is from Brazil. But we're
Ah.
not sure if they're probably vacationing in the Caribbean, most likely.
Mm. But Colombia is not Caribbean. It's on the Caribbean basin, but that Colombia is what, Central America?
Colombia? No, it's South America.
That ain't South America. Ain't Colombia Central America?
No, Colombia's next to Venezuela.
Ain't that Guyana?
No.
And something else that's next to Colombia ain't down in South America, is it?
Yes.
Why did I think it was Central America?
Let's see. This. Okay, so Colombia. I just pulled up the map. Yeah, Colombia. Like, see what it is. Colombia is the first country like going into South America. So you go from Costa Rica to
Ah.
Panama to Colombia, and Colombia sits between Venezuela and Ecuador.
Oh,
So they chose
okay.
Colombia, probably because part of the country sits on the Caribbean Sea.
Right, right. I
So
do
yeah,
know that because they have a lot of little islands off the coast of
yeah,
Colombia that are
hmm
in the Caribbean Sea.
yeah.
Um,
That's why Colombia fits. Because remember, we had a couple. We had Costa Rica, we had Panama, so it fits. It
right,
fits.
because those are Central American countries.
But they sit. Part of the country sits in the Caribbean Sea. That's what. See, 90 Day loves a good semantics loophole.
Oh, good Lord. Well, yeah, no.
Yeah. So
Because Barbados claims Panama as Caribbean. Uh, I was telling a friend of mine that no, because a lot of workers from Barbados went over
oh,
to Panama to help dig the canal. So they
oh,
stayed there afterwards. So there's a lot
makes
of
sense.
like Barbadian heritage there, just like a lot of Barbadians emigrated to the Bahamas to start their police force. So a
Oh,
lot of Barbadians stay there. Yeah. So,
see, so
but
real quick. So here's
uh-huh.
Colombia right here, Caribbean, the
Hmm.
little Caribbean sea peoples right here. Then Panama
Mhm.
sits in there, part of it. Colombia, Costa Rica. That's what 90 Day. That's what 90 Day Fiance does. They're like, look,
Mhm.
okay, we gonna pick this little region, right? What can we make fit up? What can we make fit up in here?
Where
Oh,
do we get our messiest people from, and
they said
how can we find the loophole?
let's see. Okay, the left toe of your country fits it. You know what? We can work with it. That's what that was. That's what that was. That's how come they chose it.
Okay, so she said this is let's go back to April. April said that she is used to staying in Susa, right?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so you used to staying in Susa. But you think all of Dominican Republic is like the touristy part?
See, that's the thing. I need Debbie for this one. Susa sounds very touristy and very and fancy based. Let
It
me
is.
ask Debbie.
It is. It's not in Punta Cana. It's in what is it? Puerto Plata, something like that. But it's a smaller, more expensive airport to fly into, and not the two big
Mm-hmm.
hubs of Santi and Punta Cana.
Okay.
Punta Cana is the biggest tourist section. Um, Susa is a smaller area. But again, it is touristy, but I feel like she probably stays in probably like rental homes or
Mm-hmm.
like, probably a nice big all inclusive or something that she stays down there. But if you go into DR, you do know that the capital is going to be the like a capital, it's going to be like a city.
Right.
I don't know why she
Right.
thought it was going to be like Miami.
Miami. I did not get that at all.
Like, I thought she was supposed to be smart. You couldn't have Googled that to figure out that it ain't like Miami. And Miami isn't all pretty.
Right.
Like every town, everywhere, and
Yes.
all around the world has its nice part with the pretty little buildings. And then you got the whoopsie, no, I made a wrong turn
Turn.
neighborhood.
Yes.
I just thought that that was really dumb. And
My
then
thing is, you from? She's like from New Orleans, right? Originally, New Orleans, Louisiana, something like that.
I think so. Yeah, that's
Come
where
on
she
now.
said her family was from.
Yeah, I'm like, come on now. You stop it.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe she's been rich and bougie for too long that she forgot.
I mean, I think so. I think so. And my whole thing is this. This is a red flag for me with her only because what she said. Well, I'm just staying in Susa. I'm like, your man ain't don't have Susa money. What's wrong with you? That to me is a problem. Don't do that. Don't. I don't like when on these shows Americans go and do that. You didn't pick the hotel, so you should know he's not going. You ain't gonna be in no Susa.
Well, here's the thing though. Neither one of them picked the hotel because it's the 90 Day Fiancé corporate hotel.
Right? Okay. And we know 90 Day Fiance ain't paying for no Susa, so you know.
Exactly. That's why all of their people is from Santo Domingo, and they stay at that one hotel because they could get group discount. They
Mm-hmm.
keep a camera crew in there year round. And you lucky you got a suite because everybody else just got a room.
Room.
Your bougie backside. Oh, she was annoying. And there's something about her hair I don't like. I feel like it's gonna fall out at any minute.
I mean, she keeps it relaxed.
Right, but that's not all her hair. I don't know. I Of all of the couples, they make the cutest couple. But I think I'm gonna be real mad at her if she behaves badly in this guy's parents' house.
No, I get it. I get it. Like,
I
don't
just
be good. Be good.
I just feel like I'm gonna be mad, and I don't want to be mad. Jesus. Anyhow, any other comments on these stupid folks?
No, I think we're actually good on these good people.
Okay. Well, guys, tune back in tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific, where we'll be talking about You, Me, and My Ex. I did watch it, but I didn't take any notes, so I got to go back and watch it again.
Okay.
But anyhow, guys, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. Bring your notes. Jamal, any final thoughts?
No, we're good to go.
Awesome sauce. So until next time.
Of course.
Bye.